Well, we're back in the studio. We're going to try a live call-in show here tonight. And so we're going to talk about some topics in the news and things about our local communities. And tonight the title was Jamiel's Law. My name is Tony Genovese. I'm the host of this show, California Kaleidoscope. And we'll talk about some of the topics I bring up, and then as we get call-ins, we'll go off and talk to the people who are going to be calling us in at the show. But I don't know how many people are very concerned. Lately, there's been a lot in the news about a lot of murders in Los Angeles. Matter of fact, Mayor Villaraigosa in his State of the City mentioned that his words are a grim consolation to the families of 216 human beings last year who lost their lives and more than 1,300 Angelenos who were victims of gang shootings. Gang shootings and the gang murder situation has been in the news, like I said before. And unfortunately, Mayor Villaraigosa, in his State of the City, didn't mention anything about how he and the City Council are firmly behind the establishment of Los Angeles being a sanctuary city. So that's sort of the dirty little secret Los Angeles has, being a sanctuary city, and the high rate of visitors, some people call them illegal aliens, in our town has been mushrooming for years. And some of the statistics that I saw was that 50% of the gang members in Los Angeles are actually visitors from another country, illegal aliens who have committed crimes. So everyone seems to be talking about the crime situation and gangs and spending money to fight the gang problem. And it seems to me that the solution to the problem is staring them in the face. If criminal gang members are illegal aliens, they should be deported to ICE. Now, that seems like a very straightforward, practical point of view. But back in 1969, Daryl Gates instituted an item called Special Order 40, which was a police procedure for the LA Police Department, and that Special Order 40 is still being observed. And I'd like to tell you that the Special Order 40 was not voted on the City Council, was not voted on by the citizens of Los Angeles. It was just an executive policy order by then Chief of Police Daryl Gates. And what the problem with the Special Order situation, the Special Order 40 situation, is the LAPD is being hamstringed in their efforts to assist federal authorities or the ICE authorities in deportation of criminal illegal aliens. So here we have Special Order 40 handcuffing the police when it comes to notifying the federal authorities that criminal illegal alien is in custody and needs to be deported by ICE. And that has caused a lot of problems in our society, because what is coming out in our day-to-day news is many Angelenos, and to quote the wonderful mayor, 1,300 Angelenos were victims of gang shootings last year. And even if we use the 50% number that I've heard from the San Fernando Valley District Chief of the LAPD, that 50% are gang members, there's a lot of the 1,300 that would be alive and walking today strictly because these illegal alien gang members would be deported. So it seems to be a very big problem, and like I said, Jamiel's Law is an initiative that has been going through the rounds. That's going to try to make it onto the March 2009 ballot, to where the people, or citizens of the United States, of Los Angeles, I should say, will get a chance to change Special Order 40, since the mayor and the city council seem to be very reluctant to interfere with that and to cause problems with the constituency in their council districts. And the reason it's called Jamiel's Law is just recently, in the last couple of months, there was a very promising young student by the name of Jamiel Shaw that was actually murdered in front of his house by a illegal alien gang member that had just been released from the custody of the police department. He was in jail for a gun charge and attacking a police officer. So he was released from local jail and not put on deportation hold for the federal ICE authorities, as many other police departments do in the Los Angeles area. And unfortunately, this illegal alien gang member met Mr. Jamiel Shaw in his front yard and shot him. And the community around Jamiel's home and his family, mom and dad and his younger brother, of course, were devastated. And we're trying to get to the bottom of this, and this is where they got a very harsh education about the LAPD's Special Order 40 interfering with the process of deporting the criminal, and the criminal being let out, and unfortunately the criminal decided to murder Mr. Shaw's son. To make the matters worse, or even more heartbreaking, his mother is now, or was, serving in Iraq, and had to come home on family leave to the funeral of her son, and unfortunately she had to go back. The Shaw family made an appearance at the LA City Council, a very dramatic appearance, trying to get the point across to the city council members that the Special Order 40 is an impediment to immediately deporting these criminal alien gang members, which, if that had been done, there's a very good chance that Jamiel Shaw would have graduated high school and gone on to play football with Stanford University, because he had a very bright prospects in that area. So if anybody watches City Channel 35, the city council meetings, you were able to see this really sad spectacle of the family coming up and petitioning the city council. And the city council, well, they gave him a certain amount of respect. There was no notion that the city council was going to move forward and getting rid of Special Order 40. And I guess we have an incoming call. Hello, welcome to California Kaleidoscope.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing tonight? Can you hear
Hello?
me? Who am I talking to? Hello? I can hear you. Can you hear me? Well, there was somebody there saying hello, and it seems as though we have phone difficulty. Are you still there?
Hello, this is Samantha. I'm just calling to find out if you were aware of the actions of the City Council. Just yesterday, they adopted a resolution urging the federal government to provide better health care for illegal immigrants in custody. And about a week ago, they adopted another resolution urging the California legislature to provide financial aid to illegal aliens. This seems pretty strange in lieu of the fact that Jamiel won't be getting any financial aid, and he certainly won't be getting any medical care.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up because I did see that. And under the circumstances of the Jamiel family with their murdered son, I found it was the sort of the height of disrespect for the city council to move so fast on getting those free benefits for illegal aliens and caring so much about them, and here the Jamiel family and this wonderful young man, who we don't know, he could have turned out to be running for president of the United States, but unfortunately he's been murdered, and they don't seem to be moving forward on anything having to do with Special Order 40. There's just sort of a token situation where the city council seems to be just giving lip service. Now, there's been a lot of people on the side of changing this situation, and one councilman by the name of Dennis Zine, who represented the district in Canoga Park, and he's an ex-LAPD motor officer, proposed as a councilman to the city council that a change to Special Order 40 be initiated that would eliminate this loophole to where the LAPD cannot investigate or inquire about an arrestee's immigration status, or they are not allowed to help or facilitate a Los Angeles criminal, you might say, getting deported by the federal authorities of ICE. So we applaud Councilman Zine for making that step, and I think it's kind of a no-nonsense situation, and he stepped forward and put this proposal, but it has not gone anywhere. Many people have taken sides on this. Matter of fact, Daryl Gates, the ex-police chief who instituted this, has come out with an opinion that while Special Order 40 was necessary during his tenure from 1969 to 1992, he believes that Special Order 40 should be scrapped. It's no longer useful, and with the huge amounts of illegal alien gang members that are doing so much crime in our communities of all sorts, let alone murder, as we heard from about the situation with the Jamiel Shaw family, he thinks it should be removed. Another good piece of information is the Los Angeles Police Protective League, which is the LAPD police union, has come out by their president, Tim Sands, and said that he applauds and reinforces Councilman Zine's idea, and he thinks that Special Order 40 should be changed seriously so it does not impede, I should say, the protection of our community members by LAPD dealing with the increasing gang member problem. We see many people on the city council wanting to throw money at the gang problem with anti-gang programs in the schools and such items as that. But the sad fact is that for 30 years, those anti-gang programs have been going on with not very much effect. And matter of fact, I think Laura Chick did an audit of some of the money spent in those gang problems and found that these anti-gang problems were rife with a lot of unfortunate fraud and questionable spending of the tax dollar of the Los Angeles citizens. Now, the person, current Chief Bratton, he's told everybody that he'll make no changes to the order. So he pretty much has told everybody his stand. Mayor Villaraigosa has ran away from this situation and talked about everything else and not dealt with this. The city council, like I said, has let it fall flat, although they seem to be very active in trying to provide more special free services for illegal aliens in our town. And the gentleman who brought Jamiel's law is a gentleman who's going to be running for Mr. Villaraigosa's seat, mayoral candidate Walter Moore. And he was instrumental, along with many of his supporters, to get the initiative written and moving towards a ballot vote in March of 2009. So he's very instrumental in this. Now, another sad fact of these illegal alien gang members is they've killed police officers. About 4 months ago, there was a big shootout in Winnetka, and Winnetka out here in Canoga Park, Woodland Hills area, and the LAPD SWAT team had their first officer, Randall Simmons, killed by a gentleman by the name of Edwin Rivera, who was a 20-year-old illegal gang member who was holed up in the house, and SWAT was sent in to rectify the problem. And to complicate matters even more, another LAPD SWAT officer, James Ventura, was severely wounded when they were trying to save the people in the house from this Mr. Edwin Rivera. So here we have, two decorated SWAT officers that one was killed, so he has next of kin, and the other one severely wounded, who's now is going to be no longer working in his capacity as SWAT. He may have to take a medical retirement. And these are all very sad situations, again, instigated by people who were in the country illegally to begin with, and then are doing really terrible crimes in our communities. Randall Simmons, who was the unfortunate SWAT officer that died, he was a 20-year-old veteran of the department, and he was very active in youth programs in South Los Angeles with neighborhood children. And when he was shot and they had the funeral ceremonies, it was international news. That's all just some of the ones that have made the news. There's about the first of the year, there was 5 youngsters down in the Harbor Gateway area that were waiting for a bus on their way to school, and all 5 of them were shot. Luckily, they survived, but they were all shot by illegal alien gang members in that community, and that got a small blip in your news cycle, and didn't get much further than that. So I'm not going to say that there's a giant conspiracy to keep this out of the news, but most of your major news organizations, either on television or print media, have been very slow to tell you about the background story of these alleged murderers when they can catch them. They'll say that somebody was shot or somebody was murdered, and they'll give you the name. But if you get on the internet and do a little bit of research in some of the other news organizations, you'll find out that a ridiculous amount of these crimes that are occurring, or murders in our community, are being perpetrated perpetrated by longtime gang members that are here illegally and shouldn't be here anyway. So it's rather of a dry subject, but unfortunately it's been in the news all too much in the last couple of months. And when it comes to talking about your fellow citizens that are being gunned down by gang members, and then the fact that these gang members really shouldn't be here anyway, and they could be held for ICE to be deported, at least that would slow them up. And it would push things forward to making our communities in Los Angeles a little safer. Now, another thing that the City Council and Mayor Villaraigosa likes to talk about is that right now the city is in a budget crisis. There's going to be a budgetary shortfall, and that the City Council and the Mayor is busy raising fees and rate hikes on everything they can get their hands on because they're trying to find ways to save money. I heard parking tickets are going to go up. I hear some of the city fees having to do with transferring property ownership and stuff. The registrar's office is going to be raising costs. I have a very simple solution. There's been statistics around for years that LA City Jail is half full of illegal alien criminals. In the federal system, it's 30%. Now, everybody knows that Sheriff Baca is under the gun in the jails being too full. My solution is to save money and to save room in the jail for, you might say, citizen criminals, is to just start holding all these illegal alien gang members and hold them for federal ICE officials and just start deporting them until the number is reached in which the jails are emptied of these individuals that shouldn't be here anyway. That would not only give us room in the jails so people that have been convicted wouldn't get out on early release and back into our communities again, and also we wouldn't be paying the monies and fees to keep them housed and fed. And to me, it's just a simple solution. But, you know, there is no strength of will downtown LA to move in this direction because it is an election year, which either works for or against this cause about securing the borders of the United States and deporting some of these illegal aliens that are causing trouble in our communities, because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to anger the Hispanic community. But at the same time, this would be an election year. So when you go to the voting booth, when the election comes up, be sure to keep these things in mind and remember what member of the city council and what mayor or what supervisor did what, supported Jamiel's law and helped to eliminate the illegal alien problem, and those who didn't. And you might keep Walter Moore in your thoughts. He's going to be running for the mayor of Los Angeles. And from what I've seen, he's definitely done a lot more in 3 or 4 months of announcing that he's running than Mayor Villaraigosa has done in years and years and years. Needless to say, many of the city council hasn't done much either. So that's pretty much what my little soapbox was tonight. And And if there was anybody out there that wants to call in, I know it's a little late in the show, but the number is 773-0654. And, I guess we do have a call. Hello, California Kaleidoscope. Hello, welcome to the show. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? You calling into the show? I can't hear you, I'm sorry. Hello? Hello? This is host Tony Genovese, California Kaleidoscope. Is there something you'd like to talk about tonight?
Hello?
Okay. Now, these live shows, you get all kinds on a Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. I just hope that he's not a registered voter, and I hope he's not going to procreate. Anyway, so like I said, keep your ears and eyes open about Jamiel's law and these current cycles of unfortunate murders in the Los Angeles city area, and do a little thinking on yourself or for yourself about what's happening there, and do a little digging, because I think the more you find out about all types of crimes having to do with these guests in our midst from other countries, like people that are murdering and drunk drivers and stuff, I think you'll see an easy solution. So that's about it for tonight. That's California Kaleidoscope. Keep an eye out for us on this channel, and we'll be out in the community looking for you. Tony Genovese, thanks a lot, and thanks to the crew here.